Good morning. Verse 15 again, and we're going to begin to look at some of the facets of a proper apologetic response. In the midst of suffering, the midst of persecution, in the midst of people who are against you, how should you respond when your faith gets pressed? Verse 15, but in your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense, an apologia, to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect. Verse 16 will go on and add more to the nature of this response. But for now, I want to just think about this first portion here. Always being prepared to make an apologia. The first thing you need to note when it comes to the issue of apologetics meaning the defense of the faith. The defense of the faith over against the world is not merely an argumentative task. It's not merely a set of propositions that you need to understand and articulate. It's not a set of defeater arguments merely, though it includes those kinds of things often. It's a broad, holistic response. It includes your disposition. It includes a listening, a dialogical component. It includes a more traditional understanding of defense in that you do need to have arguments and so forth. It includes building relational pathways. There's lots that goes into it. So the first thing you got to understand is that your defense needs to be prepared. It says, always being prepared, a prepared defense. Here's an illustration. If you ever watch football, and maybe you're not into football, and that's fine, but go with the illustration. If you ever watch football, the offensive linemen in football are very valuable. In fact, now an offensive lineman who is on the blind side of the quarterback, if he's right-handed, that would be the left tackle. If he's left-handed, it'd be the right tackle. They are people who are paid very, very well for their role. And what they do is they have balance. They understand that they have to have kind of a balance so that they don't get knocked over. They have to have strength to push back. So they have balance, they have strength. They have to know the tendencies of the opposition. Some guys come at one angle, some another. Some use a spin technique. Some are fast, some are determined and grind it out. And they have to know. And then they have to have a sense of anticipation, and that's usually gained by experience. So one of the things I want you to note is a prepared response, a prepared apologia is one that's balanced, doesn't get too far out, doesn't overreach, doesn't get off kilter, especially emotionally. They have a strength, you know your own position, you know where you stand. There's a knowledge of the opposition, third. You study the opposing player, so to speak, the opposing worldview, and it's anticipation. Usually you gain that through experience, but you know, oh, this is where this argument's probably headed, so you're prepared. This is where this objection is more about the emotional life, and I need to be very caring here and pastoral. This is where it's about rebellion, and I need to push and prod a little bit. And you learn that over time. But just notice, right out of the gates, always being prepared to make a defense. So your job is to be ready, balanced, strong, knowing your opponent, and anticipating. May the Lord bless you today.